Trinidad and Tobago celebrated a historic day at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo as two of its finest athletes struck gold and silver on the global stage. Javelin thrower Kishon Walcott stunned the field with a season best of 88.16 meters to secure gold, outclassing Grenada's Anderson Peters and the USA's Curtis Thompson. Moments later, quarter-miler Shireen Richards powered to silver in the 400 meters, setting a new national record of 43.72 seconds despite tough conditions. Their triumphs reignited national pride and showcased TNT's athletic excellence. And that was your news in 90 seconds. And just, to comment, we're all celebrating on the victory of our athletes. But I like to be real, and we always have the bandwagonists. And I remember when Kishon medaled for the very first time, and there was some difficulty or challenges, and him maybe medaling again. A lot of us gave up on him and said he was a one-time shot, etc. And we have to give people time. This is a lot of work, and we really must support those who take the time and sacrifice to represent us. Whether they win, draw, or lose, they are putting us out there. So congratulations to these two men who have, continued pressing forward. And I really hope that we reward them in a significant way so we can encourage the younger ones coming up as well. So enough talk about that. Next to me is Dr. Sterle Ottley. And for those of you who don't know Sterle, she is a medical doctor. And this morning we are at Ottley's fitness gym. And yes, she is Sterle Ottley. So there is some connection here at this fitness center. But she's talking to us today as a medical doctor. Why should we exercise? Is it something good? We hear about it. Can we exercise too much, too little? So at the end of our little chit chat, I hope it inspires you and encourages you, to get up. And not just you, but she's talking to me as well, for us to really step out there and do something. So Sterle, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Miss Sealey.
Right, and you will hear still calling me Miss Sealey because I taught her at secondary school.
My English teacher.
Yes, so still we're getting right into it. We're talking about exercising. What are the benefits of exercising?
So, good morning again. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning to those who are listening outside of Trinidad and Tobago. And this morning we're discussing a topic that I am very passionate about. Most people who know me know still always doing something, still always running. Since in school, I'm into football, crossfitting, road running. So, exercise is very important. I usually will tell some of my patients when we're discussing, it's one of the things you must do. Don't wait to get sick to exercise. It's something that's supposed to be on your regular, everyday pattern.
Right.
It has all the positive benefits.
And in case you missed it, she said every day, right? Okay.
Yes, it should be a part of a regular routine. Just as you get up and you brush your teeth, thinking about exercise and physical activity should be that part of your mindset, because all the research and everything is just pointed towards positive outcomes towards exercise. So in terms of from helping control chronic diseases, diabetes, hypertension, which is what we're struggling with a lot.
Yeah. And you are a medical doctor, you work in public health care, and I'm sure you see the increase
yes, so
of
we
the
diabetes, hypertension, and you see it presenting now even from younger age groups as compared to when we probably had learned figures and stuff in school 10 years or so ago. But you're seeing the change in the demographic presented, and from the chronic diseases all the way to just aesthetics, you just want to look a certain way, all the way to cognitive importance. Exercise covers all the different facets that make up.
I'm glad you mentioned the cognitive benefits, because most of us, if not all of us, when we think of exercise, we think of the physical
parts of it. Yeah.
But I want us just to talk briefly on that cognitive benefit. How does exercising help our brain?
Right. So what it does, two main things it does, it's helping the brain. One, it helps us improving your mood. Because when you exercise naturally releases the feel-good hormones. Right? So it helps your mood. And when helping your mood also, it also helps with sleep. So usually somebody who has a nice, regular exercise routine, it also helps with sleep. And sleep also naturally contributes to mood and function because sleep helps to reset. And then on top of it, it helps with brain function as well. Because when it comes to all the exercises you do like sometimes compound movement. You're squatting while you're pressing and all these different things. So it helps to keep brain activity going all the time. So it also helps with that part of it. Memory and just being active in terms of the brain also works that way as well. So you have that benefit in terms of the cognitive part of exercise, not just only physical only, but the brain part of this is also important.
So the next time I meet somebody in a grumpy mood, I can ask them, have you exercised today?
Correct.
You know?
And sometimes it's also funny, the flip side happens. For us who exercise often, when we miss the workouts, we grumpy.
Yes, yeah. Part of you is missing. Part of you is grumpy.
We ain't getting to work out. About 2 weeks now, I ain't get to go in the gym. And you feel also from the time we get back into your routine, you feel better. So it definitely affects
you also mentioned the aesthetics of it. So there are people who want to look a particular way because it may boost self-confidence.
Self-confidence and self-esteem. So that's also a major part of it. So I tell people, even if you come for the aesthetic part, you know, the ladies want to grow their glutes, they want to go, no? But all for us ladies want the tummy to come down. The fellas love the upper body workouts, build the chests, build the biceps and stuff. Yes, you get that aesthetic part, that physical part, but you also reap the benefits, the deeper benefits of the exercise, that right down to the cellular level. Right. So you don't lose. You look good, and your body also benefits internally. So
I want us to go back to looking, because I think this is where we need to focus on because of the issue. Because if we have a sick population, productivity decreases, families are broken. So when we look at physical exercise, because we are at a gym, how does exercising, really help me deal with the diabetes, obesity, those chronic illnesses? What happens to my body to make that change in those diseases?
So a lot of times with the exercise, two main things happen. You have the benefit of the weight loss, because obesity is one of the main risk factors that contribute to hypertension, diabetes. So right away, not forgetting diet. Diet trumps everything. Diet trumps everything. But in terms of the physical part of it, you get the benefits of the weight loss. And then when you come to control your weight, you right away help to address some of the issues with some of the sugar and stuff. It helps with your glycemic index and controlling of your breakdown of your blood sugar. So sometimes I make a joke and I tell my patient, calories in equal calories out. And then the fact is, if the calories store, that turns into the fat. And that also contributes to the build up in the cholesterol and so on. But if you intake your calories, and then you exercise, the equation, you put in, you minus. So calories in equal calories out. So you're trying to get away from that sedentary lifestyle, allowing the calorie build up to happen, allowing the fat to store, and then you have the repercussions of all the chronic diseases. Yes, we know there's a genetic factor. And one of my good friends used to always tell me, still, genetic loads the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. So always remind me of that. So, and it's truth. So we can't control necessarily genes, but we can't go back and born again.
Yes.
But those factors we could control. Those are what we call the modifiable risk factors. And exercise plays a major role because again, it helps to control the obesity factor.
And I think that is so important, viewers, when you mention the modifiable factors, we can help change the outcome, right? Even it may not be healing outcome, but in terms of management, making it more comfortable to deal with your situation and decrease the risk of, a more severe outcome.
So it improves, in other words, it improves your prognosis. So your prognosis is better, the outlook is better. So even the patient who may be diabetic or hypertensive, but has a regular exercise routine, is still better than the individual who has no chronic illnesses but does not exercise.
Right. Ooh, that I want to say that again.
Right. So the person who has a chronic condition, they may be diabetic or they hypertensive or some sort of cardiovascular disease, but they have a nice tailored exercise routine. Tailored meaning, obviously, if the person has heart conditions, so you tailor their workouts to suit, right? But they still have a regular exercise routine. They are still better, and in terms of life projection, better than the person who has no medical conditions, but who has no physical activity.
Because we love to say, I am healthy, I good, we live in a environment, community where we love food and we eat any and everything.
And we have a concept that slim means healthy.
Right.
And that's not necessarily always true.
Right.
So even though a person may be looking slim and maybe, nice weight on the scale, it doesn't necessarily reflect how healthy you are into the pressures could still be high, you could still have high cholesterol, the sugars could still be high. So it doesn't necessarily give that right factor, not because you're slim means overall the numbers are good.
And that's why it's so important to always check your numbers. Because sometimes we feel good, but we don't know what's going on inside. And, recently you hear of persons within their 30s collapsing after playing football, and everybody's shocked because, he healthy, he always on the field. But we don't know that person.
And lots of them, like, for example, we're talking about the high blood pressure, so they don't have no symptoms. Right. So they hear them refer to hypertension as a silent killer. Yes. So you don't necessarily have a sign that your blood pressure may be high, not all the time. Diabetes as well, you may have some warning signs though, that you make urine, maybe you're thirsty, you find you're passing urine often, but especially hypertension, sometimes no cues. And it's just encouraging people to know your numbers. Take advantage of all the health fairs that tend to have a lot of health fairs in the Tobago space often. Take advantage of it. The health centers available, you could walk in and get your blood pressure checked. Just check your blood pressure. You have nice little logbooks, you could write your stuff in. Just to be aware.
And earlier you mentioned the importance of exercising every day. So I usually tell my doctor, but I active. If you see me walk through Scarborough, it's full pace, and he would always tell me, Nats, that is not exercising. So tell us a bit more, because some of us, we lead quote unquote active lives, and we think we're good to go. And I am one of those, because I would always say, but I'm always busy, I always on the move, and he would always say that is not exercise. Tell us about that.
So when you're thinking about exercise, you're thinking about more like a targeted goal workout, right? Now, we don't make it complicated, but it could be divided into, mild, moderate, even severe. Not severe, but mild, and then even to people, I would say strenuous. Some people actually do strenuous activity, and some do moderate, mild to moderate. Right. All depends on your fitness level. But even if you get, say, like you want to get 120 minutes or so for the week, that's fine. Some people break it up, come 3 days a week. The studies actually show, and I was reading just the other day, I was saying even if you put it all together and get it in one day, it equates to the same thing. Okay. But I find there's a lot to be studied like that.
Especially if you want to now start. But it depends on you now starting. So some people do it 3 days a week, some people do it twice a week, but the point is a targeted workout. So yes, your physical or your energetic lifestyle contributes, because you're busybody, you're walking, yes, you will burn the calories. So it doesn't count for nothing. But with the exercise, now you have a targeted, goal-oriented workout. So it's not just get up and walk through Scarborough, it's a structured workout, because you're trying to hit specific goals. So you would actually train targeted muscles. So you see some of the ladies coming today with targeting glutes and legs and the buns. You see the fellas come with targeting chest, which is muscles they may not usually activate all the time by just doing your regular activity. And then what happens is, with the exercise, you get the advantage of changing the load. So, for example, a construction worker. Let me use a construction worker. He may be doing upper body stuff, lifting cement bags and stuff and so on, yes. But when he comes to the gym now, the advantage he has is he could carry up the weight. And then he could do repetitive sets, which will then make his construction work even easier, because you realize now he's carrying heavier loads easier. So you get to mix up the workout and also hit targeted muscles that maybe just lifting a bag of cement may not necessarily reach. So yes, you want to encourage, be active, yes, but also coming to the gym or having a nice targeted workout is what the exercise is about. Getting the heart rate up to get the cardio. So maybe yes, walking through Scarborough, busybody, might be different to doing a nice 20 minutes on the treadmill at a specific speed. Right. So you get to put that specificity in it, which then gives you the advantage of what the exercise does. Right. And viewers, I really hope that you appreciate all this information coming to you. You're not going into Sterle's office and paying her money for this, and this is really, timely advice. And I hope that many times when we have programs like this, we listen and we're like, and we shake our heads at home, we agree, and then we do nothing. Really let this be a platform to initiate that change, and we see what's going on around us. And, when I talk to you, I'm talking to me, because I very well know that every week comes along and I say, this is the week I go in and put in my walking on the evenings or get up earlier, and then everything else happens. But anything that is important, we make it a priority. So make you a priority. And as we look to wrap up myths, let's talk about myths concerning exercise, because the society we live in, we listen to everybody. And, this one say this, and if you have this, no exercise, and you can't live for, pregnant woman, you shouldn't be doing no kind of exercise. And, all of that. So let's talk about some of the myths.
Yeah, there's a lot of myths. To be honest, a lot of the myths more surround women.
Okay.
Because the men tend to be very okay in coming and bulking up and stuff. One of the major myths you always say with the ladies is that lifting weights so that will make them look manly and look like a man. And I hate it because men look a certain way because they have testosterone. Contributes to how they might look naturally muscular.
Right.
If it is as a woman, you have to lift weights to look like a man, it'll be impossible. Some of the bodybuilding women that we see look a certain way, they actually taking testosterone.
Right.
They're taking exogenous.
It's not a natural
look for women.
Okay.
So I usually advise my women, you should lift weights. You can train your workout to target what you want. You don't have to bulk up if you want to just stay toned. You can do lighter weights, more reps. Even if you want to grow some muscle, you do the heavier weights. But it wouldn't make you look manly. And actually, I usually advise my women, you should lift weights. And the reason why I do is because women have to consider menopause. So a lot of us as women, we think we focus on the menopause when we reach the menopause age. But I prepare for menopause from now.
Right.
So weight training helps because when we hit menopause, the estrogen drops, you don't get the protection of strong bones.
Right.
But strong muscle equals strong bones. And once you put load on the muscles, it makes the muscles stronger, which makes the bone stronger. So as the time you're prepping on, you get to the menopause, you realize, okay, not so much of bone you may fall, but not have any fractures. So things like that is women should lift weights. I advise all women, lift weights. You come tailored, you tailor the workout to what you want to achieve, and you lift the weights. Pregnant women, it's safe to exercise. Obviously, advice is okay, consult your physician first.
Right.
I remember my first pregnancy, Dr. Wheeler was my OB/GYN. He said, "Still, what do you usually do?" I said, "Dr. Wheeler, well, I'm a football player. Play football seasonally. I love to road run. I CrossFit." He said, "All right, the only thing you can do, stop the football because that's a contact sport." I said, "Understood." So I was up 5 months and doing my running. The only reason why I stopped running because the belly get heavy. But I will do my running, and then eventually I cut it down. I'll do my walking.
Right.
You can lift weights and stuff. So it's not that once you're female is accustomed working out, nothing is wrong with it. It's the workout to suit. Even if you never work out before and you're now pregnant and you're coming to the gym, yes, we will not advise lifting heavy load, but simple, nice, light walking on a treadmill will do fine. Or even if you're not on a treadmill when you're home, exercise it. And it also helps with women who have high blood pressure in pregnancy, and diabetes in pregnancy.
Yes.
So it's not just sit down sedentary because you're pregnant and you can't lift it and you mix again. You have your workout tailored and you could work out throughout your pregnancy up until it's supposed to time to the
Right. And in all of this, viewers, I want you to understand the importance of consulting with a medical doctor. Let me say that again. Consulting with a medical doctor so that you understand the limits. And if you're in a gym, a formal setting, inform your fitness instructor.
Yes.
I spoke to my doctor, or I have this condition. Don't just come and play superhero and want to use all the equipment and you're glad up, and then you put everybody in trouble. This is your life, right? And though you understand the benefits, understand that some of us have a limitation, but you can still achieve your goals. So talk to your fitness instructor and say, hey, I have a heart condition, but I've got clearance, whether you have to bring it in writing, etc. They will advise you, but be open about what your current situation is so that everyone can plan with that in mind for you to achieve your goals. And still, I really want to thank you. You said a lot, viewers. I need to get up and do this thing, right? So even if you may not be able to come at the gym and you heard so much great things about this new gym, it is the place to be. And if you're not ready here because for me, gyms intimidate me, right? Because I think when I come at gym, I like, why everybody done fit already. This is not the place for me. But start somewhere. And then, if you have to build up the confidence and you come and you use the equipment, etc., here is one of your options. So, viewers, we go for a quick break again. Still, thank you for sharing with us, and congratulations to you and the family on opening, such a stellar place for us to come and really work on becoming a more healthier population. When we return from the quick break, viewers, my co-host from Monday to Thursday will join us with Chanel as she interviews someone special as we hear a little about Trinidad and Tobago Restaurant Week and another event by one of our main hoteliers on the island. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.